So after having a couple weeks to play on defense, which do you prefer? What side of the ball?
Well, right now I prefer offense, I'll be honest. I think if I played defense and offense equally, that might change, but might stay the same. Feel more comfortable with offense, the plays there, the formations and everything. So I think that's the main reason why I feel more comfortable and kind of like offense a little bit better.
The secondary for Virginia seems to be it's an experienced defense, and the secondary seems to be the most experienced. What do you guys expect from Virginia's defense?
We expect a lot of man. We expect them to be athletes, to be able to cover well and things like that. I feel like we've got a really good look from our defensive backs here at BYU. Our corners, our defensive backs, all of them in general are just good. And so we feel like we're ready for the things that Virginia has, and we're prepped and good to go.
When you're watching film as a wide receiver unit, is it different when you're kind of evaluating Virginia's defense than say like the running backs or the quarterbacks? Having that knowing it's a man or a zone, is it kind of easier for you guys?
We look at the same sort of keys, which players come on which plays, which causes them to be in a certain formation, things like that. So I think we look at the same sort of things. Maybe our techniques and things that we do in certain coverages is different than the other positions, but we look at the same sort of things, I guess.
Is it more like individual players? Are you kind of evaluating or looking at film of individual players, or is it more the scheme that they're
I'd say more scheme, more position, rather than, okay, number 13 is going to do this on this play. It's more of a position type guy.
Okay. Do you prefer the away, kind of the big play feel of an away game where you kind of quiet the crowd, or would you actually rather be the one to raise the crowd up at home? Do you kind of prefer that home feel or the away feel?
Well, I've never even dressed for a game here at BYU, so I really don't know, but
just in general,
I think it'd be fun to kind of quiet the crowd. Also, at the same time, it'd be fun to get a roar. So sorry, I can't really give you a straight answer on that. I think both would be great.
I saw you here yesterday, so I'm sure you answered this yesterday, but just for clarification, are you back on offense permanently, or is there still a chance that you could play both?
As far as I know, it's permanent. Granted, there could be more injuries. Things could work out in a way that I could be back on defense. When I left defense, I was told to, remember what I learned, not forget it all, and so that's the plan. So, I'm remembering formations, plays, tags, everything with the defense, so that if I do need to go back, I can.
Do you get the sense, is it kind of like I can exhale a little bit, like I'm back in a position that I know and that I was doing really well at? I mean, is there that feeling at all?
Yeah, I'm able to breathe and sleep a little better, I guess. I don't have to, worry about being here all hours of the day just to get the basics down. I'm able to feel more comfortable with, my assignment as a position player.
I know it was very brief, but is there anything that you learned going through some of the defensive drills and that you can take back to the offensive side that may help you? I mean, anything like that?
Yeah, I really learned how to cover more, to cover a receiver, and I looked, as a defensive back, I looked for certain keys to pick up on, things that I didn't realize that were so obvious as a receiver's running routes. So as I'm running my routes, I'm able to think about the things that they look for in their keys and disguise those things better.
There seems to be a track record of new offenses, new schemes, teams starting out. It takes a little bit of time to get going. What is your personal the offensive side of the football, the offense's expectations? Do you think it's possible to hit the ground running game one, or is it going to take a little bit of time?
I think it's possible. I think with the amount of plays that we've ran, we've just had such a high volume that we, we've had more plays than if we were to huddle up. If we were to huddle up, we'd have, let's say 50 plays, but running at the pace we do, we have 80. So I think just with spring and fall camp, we've been able to run more plays, have a higher volume, and therefore we're, I think, a little bit ahead of the curve with that.
On a personal note, what is a couple of days away from this game? What are the emotions that you're going through?
A couple of days away from offense?
No, a couple of days away from the game.
Oh, a couple of days away from game, Virginia. Well, as you can tell, I'm just focused on, one day at a time, thinking about things that we can control, learning the schemes, learning what we do against certain defenses that they run, And honestly, right now I don't feel, a ton of nervousness. Maybe I'll feel more jitters as it gets closer. But my goal and team's goal is to just focus on our thing and do our thing.